In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we were able to close $78,000 of wholesale deals within a singular month without running any social media agency stuff, without running any paid ads, without running any AI, or not AI, any SMS, any cold calling. We quit every single one of those things to full port into AI and AI agents and agent marketing. Right, so we market towards other agents, and the agents get us properties, which is something nobody online is showing you guys because, quite forward, nobody actually has a system and nobody has the AI to actually run them. So these are like the size of the deals. This is a $400,000 house. The fee on this one, where is it at? Yeah, it's like 20K fee, and then we have a $174,000 house, and then the fee on this one was 16, and then we had a $1.1 million house, and then the fee on this one was 42K, right? And I have hundreds of these huts that I can show you guys as well if that's something you guys want to see. Can show you guys in the next video, but I want to explain everything that we had to quit, our old mentality that we had to quit, and what everybody is telling you to jump on when it comes to wholesale, right? And me personally, I'm an operator, still run the business, still running a bunch of calls, still calling these homeowners, and I used to believe that direct to seller was the top, and direct to seller or D2C, direct to consumer, is still the best thing when it comes to any amount of business that you do, almost except here, right? Every one of these is direct to seller, right? SMS, this is mostly for beginners. If you're an SMS, you probably don't have a lot of money, meaning that you're not really in the real estate game. If you're doing just SMS, you're probably inconsistently closing a deal a month, right? The revenue is 5 to 15, low quality leads, because every other beginner is jumping on SMS. So if every other beginner is jumping on SMS, what makes you think you're going to be different? Which is why cold calling, Facebook, PPC, and YouTube are even a thing. If you're an SMS, you won't scale more because you need a lot of data. You need to pull that data, which that merges into cold calling. I had a 6-person team. These guys were from Egypt, right? 6-person team. We were running the marketing, same thing as SMS. We were closing the deals. That's usually from 10 to 30K. We did a little bit more in revenue, but it's way too big of a team. You need 10K leads per caller, right? And it's too much overhead, meaning that it does not matter if your sales guys do not close the deal. If you guys have a worst month, you still have to pay the leads list, you still have to pay for the softwares, for the calling data, for the actual leads. You have to pay for way too much, and then the return is just not it, meaning that your anxiety is all over the place. Same thing with SMS. SMS is, in my opinion, the worst thing you could do. Same thing with cold calling. It's just a lot of leads list. There's Deal Machine now, so I think there's Deal Machine. There's these other apps. Everybody's using them. You're not getting a different list. There's no certain buttons you can press. Nothing is different, meaning that it's going to be close to impossible for you to scale to 100K a month using this. It's just not real. This is what we switched to not too long after, which is Facebook, PPC, and YouTube, right? I'm going to talk about Facebook. We did really good on Facebook starting off until we didn't, because then Meta, I just was not optimizing for the right thing. There's a skill gap. A lot of wholesalers and investors, they need a 2 to 4-person team, and they have to hire an agency. And sometimes when people hire an agency, the agency recycles the leads, meaning that you're not actually natively doing it off the ads manager. So you're just targeting terrible sellers. And I jump on calls with wholesalers all the time, and they're always telling me that they have low quality leads because that's what Facebook optimizes for. And there's just people price hopping. And I just want to fix that for you guys real quick if you guys are watching this. This is what I ended up doing with my Facebook funnel. It's a landing page, and let me put this one green. This is the perfect lead that I send a pixel to, right? So if we're talking like a landing page, I only want to get the most qualifiable leads that actually closes. I don't want to get lead forms. Lead forms are the worst type of leads that you could do. Trust me, I've been there. You're going to get these guys, the lead form ones. There's going to be $20 to $100 cost per lead. It's not going to get you any sales. You're going to close maybe 1 out of 30. You can go for sales and contracts, but your cost per lead will go a little bit higher. But those guys are more willing to close. But now you need money, which leads it back into the other problem of PPC and YouTube. I'll be straight up. It is the lowest ROAS. You need a really good salesman, right? Only issue is you cannot physically outspend the operators doing 10, 20, 30K a day. There's guys doing 50 or spending 50 to 100K a month with PPC and YouTube. There's agencies running these already. It's hard for you already to just jump in. You cannot just run PPC with $10,000 anymore. That is just not real. So that's why a lot of people are going back to Facebook, because it's the cheapest thing. But now, if everybody is doing these, and where are the other deals? Which is why we have an AI where I wanted to go against the grain. It's what I've always been taught. Don't go where everybody is going, which is why we have this AI that reaches to agents, right? It does not matter where you're at. It pulls off of the MLS. It targets specific cities if you want. It also negotiates for you, and it sends the lead to your pipeline so you can comp it and close it. That's all it does, right? I call it recruiting and sales. It's kind of like the insurance model. It is backed. We kind of did the same thing as New Western, right? So New Western doesn't run a single ad. They don't run a single PPC campaign or anything like that. All they do is have a lot of agents and wholesalers, which is wholesalers that'd be like a JV deal. Listing agents, they just dispo, right? Or they pay their commission, either or, right? So the same model that they have, we're also running in a different way. We have an AI, which I'm going to show you right now, that reaches out via SMS. We stopped doing the cold calling. It reaches out via SMS to realtors. One realtor turns into 2 realtors, 3 realtors, 4 realtors, until it gets to the hundreds. Once it gets to the hundreds, every single one of those realtors is sending you properties because they already closed it on the seller side. So that looks like something like this. Hopefully, let me see. All right, hopefully you guys can see my screen. So yeah, that looks something like this. So this is what the AI is, right? So essentially, if I am getting properties in Macon, Georgia, and I'm filtering 1970, last 30 days on the MLS, and then you search. It's going to search the entire MLS. And then these are properties, right? So what it's going to do, it's going to send the initial message, right? So these are all the properties active on the MLS right now. There's a certain belief that if it's on the MLS, everybody has access to them, which is true. But our AI is simply quicker. It can get a person there quicker. It can give you the price quicker. It is quicker. Right? If a person posts a property on the MLS, if you're a single operator, you're going to check it maybe a week in advance or a week after it's actually posted. We already walk the property, which is why our AI is just better. It is simply assigned every 7 days. The pipeline, which I have to block out because these are our personal deals, are like this, right? It goes from new leads, qualify leads, nurture leads, prepare an offer, and then the LOI is sent. So I do want to show you guys like one property though. So this is like a property where we sent an LOI. There's a chance we don't close. There's a chance we close. Right? This is like a property. This is what you can expect, right? The agent already has it. So it's simply just our job to come in and then dispo. And that's simply it, right? Every single day, all I have to do is check my prepare an offer. Prepare an offer meaning that the AI already qualified. This is what it looks like, right? The AI sends the initial message. It also qualifies, meaning that it's sending the cash offer, right? The realtor relays the information back. We come back. This is simply all AI. The realtor said she has another property. This is the property. We negotiate it again. It's not me. It's all the AI. Call me in 20 minutes. We can discuss that proposal. Cool. The AI messaged my phone and I gave her a call, right? We're circling back on another property. We gave her the property that we're interested in. Example, this is another example, right? This is another lady who gave us this price drop on a property, right? It just negotiates, it talks, it sends us different listings, right? And that's it. Our goal is to be the quickest person here, right? So it sends the initial message, it qualifies the person, After the qualification, it goes to the closer, where the closer talks to the realtor, and then we close. And then they give us a 7-day period. So after the contract gets signed, it goes into a 7 to 10 day period. Usually it's 7 days inspection. That's where we dispo. If we can't dispo within 3 days, then it's not a deal. And then that's where we get paid. That is a whole system, right? Now, typically what I do is I want to get on these realtors' good side. So I want to get on their SMS list. I want to get on their email list. And I want to be 7 days early on MLS, right? So my whole goal is to know that listing agents are exactly the same as wholesalers, right? There's nothing different about them at all. They get the property from the seller side and they have to dispo it, right? They just have the MLS. That's all they have. We do our marketing on Facebook, Meta, all these different things. They do the marketing strictly on the MLS and cold calling or VAs or SMS or whatever it is that you use. We are targeting our pitch perfect, like a perfect realtor that I found. I can't spell today. A perfect realtor today that I found is the year rookies, right? So somewhere less than 1 year in business. So in business, right? They're brand new. They have a low cash buyers list, meaning that they need you, right? These guys are super motivated. It's the first year. They're super motivated to make a bunch of cold calls. They're probably overpricing the properties or underpricing the properties, whatever the deal might be. I want to be their best offer guy. I want to be their guy, whether it be a girl or a guy, whatever it is. I want to be their guy, meaning that whenever they close a property, I want to be the first guy that they think of so I can dispo the property for them. I'm their real estate buyer, right? The more of these people that I can get, I'm building my pipeline. So every single Monday, I get a leads list of already closed properties, right? On the seller side, they're already closed. The listing agents simply just send me the property. I comp it. If it's good to go, I take it. If it's not good to go, which we have been more conservative on our numbers, I let it go, right? And I tell them why I let it go. And they find me another one. It's simple as that. My job is to get hundreds of these guys. And all I have to do every single morning is just comp the properties, right? So we went from an 8-person team down to a 2-person team in the matter of a couple months, right? First month using the AI, and I was completely skeptical, we did 4 deals, right? Second month, about the same thing, right? Now consistently now we're closing, right? And it's not like I'm talking to hundreds of people a day. It's not like I'm working on the business a lot of hours like I would on SMS or cold calling or even ads. Like I don't have to jump within 5 minutes. Like this is another thing on ads. Like you got to jump on both of these 5 minutes or less, which is a big issue, right? Because 5 minutes or less, you simply have no life, right? Like you're on the phones 24/7 waiting for a lead to come. That's no life. I didn't want to live like that. I got into wholesale because I wanted to live life. So these are just draining. A lot of investors have tried these. I've talked to a lot of investors. Every single one of them don't like these at all, right? They either are using Meta, they're using SMS to do creative finance deals because that makes a lot more sense, right? Than wholesaling. You can make your 20K up front by simply paying the broker, the bank, right? And then you just make your money off of interest. You can make 3 times the amount of money off of interest, which is why a lot of flippers and wholesalers are using that model. Now imagine that model with our AI, which is something we're going to start doing. Instead of just wholesaling your properties, we're going to seller finance and then also sell to own on the other side. That way we get paid. We're making the monthly cash flow. We take the upfront balloon and then we can also just seller finance, right? On the seller side. And we just give percent to whoever's buying the property on the other end. Typically, it's like an 8-point-something% depending on the state. I don't handle that. I just do the negotiations. But what I've seen is 8.7, 8.5, and they live off of interest. So you could just live off of interest. There's different ways for you to do a deal. But that's the end of the video. If